Okay. Right. In the last session, we covered few topics. Let me recall those, what we covered. So what is data and what is information? Data is nothing but raw facts. Information is processed data. Then what is data communication? In simple words, exchanging the data is called data communication. By using two or more devices, exchanging the data is called data communication. We use a particular medium to for this data communication. There are two basic types of the communications, the forms of the communication. Those are analog and digital, where analog is continuous manner and digital is non-continuous manner, discrete manner. This is the image to understand analog and signal. Then coming to the communications, properties of the communications. Right. Delivery. So whenever we are sending the data, that must be delivered to the correct person at the correct time. Accuracy, the data should not be fabricated. The communication must maintain the accuracy. Timeliness, the data must be delivered within a given stipulated time. Jitters, it is the variation in the delivery of the packets. Then coming to the data representation, we can send the data in the various forms like a text data that may contains alphabets, numerical data, the data may have only numbers 0 to 9, image data, audio data, and video data also. Then, technical definition for the computer network is it is a collection of the devices connected through a transmission medium like wires and cables. This is very useful to share software and hardware component also. And what are the devices or what is the device connected to the computer network generally called node. Coming to the components of the data communication, rules, that is also called protocols, sender, receiver, and transmission media. The mode of the communication is serial and parallel. At a time, if we send the data that is serial, we can send multiple data items at a time that is parallel. Synchronous and asynchronous. Sender and receiver must be activated at a time that is synchronous. Sender and receiver may not be activated at a time that is called asynchronous. We have two types of the modes, whereas transmission mode represent the direction of the flow of the data. We have three categories: simplex, half duplex, full duplex. Simplex means it has only one direction. We can send the data in the only one direction, that is unidirectional. Then half duplex, we have two channels, but we can send the data by using the only one channel. Full duplex means we have two channels. We can send the data and receive the data at the same time. We can use two channels at a time. So this is what we covered already. Now, let us start a new topics now. That is types of network. Already we covered what is network. What is computer network is clear. Now, basically we have the four types of the networks. Those are PAN, personal area network. LAN, local area network. MAN, metropolitan area network. WAN, wide area network. So let us discuss these one by one in detail. Let us start with the simple network, a small network called PAN. The full form for the PAN is Personal Area Network. PAN stands for Personal Area Network. Personal Area Network is a network arranged within an individual person, typically within a range of 10 meters. Very simple. So this is developed for the individual person purpose. For example, if you want to listen the music with help of the Bluetooth, you can uh, create the PAN network between your mobile to music player. So suppose you have the MP3 file in your mobile, you can connect it to any MP3 player where that has the Bluetooth facility. And with help of the Bluetooth, you can connect it to that player and you can play the music. We know that, right? So here that type of the network is called PAN network, personal area network. This is developed for the individual person purpose. And we can connect the devices with help of this PAN, personal area network. Thomas Zimmerman is the scientist, is the first research scientist to bring the idea of the personal area network. Personal computer devices that are used to develop the personal area network or laptop, nothing but you can use in the PAN, you can use laptop, mobile phones, media players, and PlayStations also. Just to see this image, you can understand it easily. For example, I have the mobile, I have the laptop. I think you know that you can share the data from mobile to laptop also. That type of the network is also called PAN, personal area network. And here we have two types of the PANs again, wireless personal area network, wired personal area network. Very simple to understand. Wireless personal area network is a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connections. Okay, suppose you have the router in your home. If you want to access the internet, you need to use Wi-Fi option in the mobile. That network is actually called technically PAN network, personal area network. This is wireless network because Wi-Fi is obviously that is wireless facility. Then wired personal area network. For example, if you want to use any printer with help of the USB cable, you have a system with help of the system, you can connect your printer with help of the USB cable and take the printouts. So here, the what is the network created between your desktop or laptop and to the printer. This is called wired PAN, wired personal area network. So when you establish wired PAN, now you can take the printouts. Next category of the network is LAN. LAN stands for local area network. Local area network. Local area network is a group of computers connected to each other in a small area. This is a keyword you must remember, such as a building or office. Very simple example to understand the concept is, suppose in our colleges, you may find we have the labs. To practice computer courses, we have the lab now, where all the computers are connected through the cables. That network is called actually LAN, local area network. If we have the LAN, you can exchange the data from one system to other system. If you have one printer and if you have 20 systems in your lab, you can take the printout from the any system, any system, you can give the instruction for the printer to take the printouts. One printer, 20 systems. So that is possible with help of LAN. Then LAN is used for connecting two or more personal computers. Okay, there is no restriction. Probably we can use multiple computers to connect to the LAN. It is less costly as it is built with very inexpensive hardware such as hubs. We'll cover what is hub later on, network adapters and Ethernet cables. Generally, The components we use to establish the LAN in the labs are Ethernet cables, hubs, and network adapters. The data is transferred at extremely faster rate in local area network. So if you connected all the systems with help of the local area network, we can transfer the data with great speed. So good example for the LAN is the network what you find in your lab. That is example for the LAN. Generally, LAN is used within the building or within the room. Next type of the network is MAN. MAN stands for Metropolitan Area Network. A metropolitan area network is a network that covers a larger geographic area by interconnecting a different LAN from a larger network. Very simple. In simple terms, you can understand it. Suppose we have multiple LANs. We can connect those multiple LANs with the help of the MAN. MAN is a collection of the LAN, you can say in simple terms. Government agencies use MAN to connect the citizens and private industries. So it has a higher range than the local area network. See this image, you can understand the importance of the MAN. Let us say it is a one building or a one room. Okay. Let us say this is four buildings we have. Okay. This is third building and this is a fourth building. In each and every building, as I covered just now, we have the LAN. LAN we can use within the building in general. But let us say X person has four buildings. X person has four buildings, one, two, three, four. And within the four buildings, the person have LAN facility. But now the person wants to access the computers of all the buildings. In such cases, they use the network MAN, Metropolitan Area Network. With help of the Metropolitan Area Network, all the LANs are connected. So the person can access all the systems from different buildings, from four buildings. Then where we use MAN in general. MAN is used in the communication between the banks in a city. So the bank is within the bank, they use MAN to communicate with customers within the city. And it can be used in the airline reservation system also. All the airplanes must be connected to the system and all the information must be shared. That is what airline reservation system. It can be used in a college within the city. Okay. And it can also be used for communication in the military. So one place to another place within a small area, we can use MAN to communicate. Next one is WAN. WAN stands for Wide Area Network. WAN stands for Wide Area Network. So this is the biggest network you can say. Okay. And the network which doesn't have any limits. That is WAN. A wide area network is a network that extends over a large geographical area, such as state or countries. It is used to connect different states and different countries also. A WAN is quite bigger network than the MAN. Okay, the hierarchy is very small network is PAN. Next one is LAN. Like next one is MAN. The next one is WAN. This is the hierarchy regarding to their size. So the wide area network is not limited to a single location, but it spans over a large geographical area through a telephone line, or you can use fiber optic cables or satellite lines. So with help of the WAN, so as I covered just now, in the LAN is limited to only single building, right? MAN is located to the single location where that may be used to connect different buildings. But here, wide area network doesn't have any limits. That is used to connect to different states, different countries even. So best example for the WAN is internet. The internet is one of the biggest WAN in the world. See this example. This is the WAN. So you can connect to the WAN with help of the LAN, or this is a MAN. Observe this. This is a MAN. Okay. And that MAN also can directly connect to the WAN. And you can connect from the LAN, MAN also. Very good example is internet. Next topic is types of the connections. Nothing but we know that a computer network is a connections of various computer devices, network devices. Then how we can maintain the connections? How many ways we have to maintain the connections between the devices, between the nodes? A network is two or more devices connected through a links. Yes, we covered that. A link is a communication pathway that transfers the data from one device to another. Okay, if you want to transfer the data from one device to another device, we must use any one of the transmission media. Already we covered that, right? So within the transmission media only, we can send the data. Generally, we use the word link also. That is a link between the devices. For example, it is a simple to imagine any link as a line drawn between two points. For communication to occur, two devices must be connected in some way to the same link at the same time. Okay. So there are two possible types of the connections. Those are point-to-point connection and multi-point connection. So with help of this image, you can easily understand what is point-to-point connection. Okay. Let us say we have two devices. One is CPU, one is network. So I think you know that how many cables are required to connect CPU to monitor. Only one cable is enough, right? So here we are using only single link. That is the meaning of point-to-point connection. Point-to-point connection provides a dedicated link between the devices. And the entire capacity of that link is reserved for the transmission between the devices as shown in this image. Yeah. CPU,